Hello YouTube, this is the iPhone Fan 123 bringing you a video review of the Thule MacBook Pro 15-inch hardshell laptop case. So I ordered this as part of my June setup for my MacBook Pro 2011 that was released sometime earlier than June, I don't know when. But it is a 15-inch and it's the 2011 version, so all the hardware should match, even the newest. Like, there was one rendition available right after I bought mine, which it'll fit that laptop too. So this is a still very viable option for a modern laptop case. So into some of the specs on this case, I bought it for like $50 off Apple.com. You can buy it for less off Amazon, I believe. Might as well go check. Look up the Thule 15-inch hardshell case. And this is I'm just going to say this now. This is the best MacBook case I've ever seen in the world. I guess, that I've owned at least. As you can see, it is a matte it's sort of a matte shiny sort of finish here. It has ridges in it to prevent accidental, knocks against the top of the laptop, as well as actually to aid in waterproofing. This case is semi-waterproof, so if you spill a little water on it or whatever, don't worry about it. Just try to get it off as fast as you can. But it's not going to get through to the computer, which is what matters. As well as the zippers here are actually almost watertight. I would not submerge this thing, but if you spill a little water on the zipper, I think you'll be okay. So that's just a cool feature on Thule's part. They make some very high-end cases and briefcases and traveling cases and stuff like that, which is nice. So I'll go ahead and open up the case. My MacBook is actually inside of here now. As you can see, the zippers are very cool looking. They have a little Thule cutout in the metal on the zipper itself, and then they have these flexible blue clear see-through plastic zippers, which are nice. And I thought when I first got this that these zippers would, they don't look like they're secured very tightly. Turns out that they are actually very well attached to the metal parts. So I've had this case for 7 months now and it is still going strong. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up for you guys. Hold on, camera down. It may look, so it's a very easy case to open. Just taking my time. All right, so here we go. Case is open. As you can see, just another little cosmetic thing here. They have a cool Thule logo right on the front, little floppy metal thing. Actually, it's like hard plastic, maybe metal, I'm not sure, but it feels sturdy and it's not going to come off unless you want it to come off. And then there's the logo there, which I showed you guys earlier, which looks very cool. So in here you have your MacBook, or at least you won't when you get it, but you can put your MacBook in there, obviously. So here's my MacBook, 15-inch again. And this is what the inside of the case looks like. On the top, you have the same pattern as on the outside, where you have the slight ridges and indentations that aid in shock absorption. You have one central ridge down the middle, which is nice. And this material is a very good-looking sort of perforated plaster. It's not, I don't know, nylon, I guess. It's synthetic, and it's very good-looking, and it's actually pretty soft, so your computer will not get scratched. I'm going to go ahead and pull my laptop out of here in a second. Alright, laptop goes on bed. Alright, so here we go. Inside of the case, bottom looks the same as the top minus the center ridge. And you have this funny strap here, which is actually used to secure the MacBook down if you're traveling or something. You don't want it to get jostled around at all. You can just go ahead and slide it under that strap. And it works pretty well. It won't move around. I find it's just as good without the strap. So I generally don't attach it for school use and stuff like that. So there you go. There's the interior of the case. The back of the case is basically the same as the front. Got the ridged pattern, the matte finish. It's a very light case. It's a very sturdy case. As you can see, it is pretty much a hard shell, though it is somewhat flexible, like you can bend it, but it is designed for shock absorption and minor impact, so it should be fine with most conditions. I've dropped this once or twice. Thankfully it hasn't been on the corners, but I've dropped stuff onto it. I've dropped a hammer onto it, believe it or not, once, which was not a good idea, but it turned out fine. Nothing happened. Now, so as I said, the corners of any case are a problem because there's really no way to make a case where the corners are padded enough to completely protect against a high distance fall or impact. This case does a better job than a lot of cases I've seen. They try to pad it fairly well. There's a good amount of padding in there. You can't really see it, but I feel more or less comfortable with putting my Mac in this case. I mean, I think this is the best case out there. I'm just going to say that. I've been through cases, and I've had a lot of friends look at this case and say, holy cow, that thing is awesome, and it works really well. So, I'm going to say that although it's not perfect, this thing, you should not be dropping your MacBook on its corners. I'm just going to say that. Do not drop your Mac on the corners, because the hard drive will come loose and all sorts of other stuff will happen. So, that's a problem you're going to have with any case. Just be forewarned that the corners are weak, but you know what? You're going to be very hard-pressed to find a case out there that doesn't have weak corners. Okay, so back to more of the case. You may or may not have seen these little elastic bands here. And the reason they're there is because this case has a very cool feature that very, very, very few MacBook cases out there have right now, which is the ability to actually use your MacBook while it is still in the case. I find this feature absolutely incredible because I don't even need to take it out of the case for class or whatever. So, here you go. It fits fine in the case, and you can just open it up. These flaps keep the top lid from falling all the way back, and they put a little bit of pressure on the screen. And this is the MacBook Pro 2011, and some of the models for 2011 had this weird thing where the screen hinge was very loose. In this case, that is not the case. My screen hinge is strong enough to hold up the case, because there is a fair amount of torque on the screen provided by these little elastic bands. Now, if you're having that problem after you bought the case, I would recommend either extending the elastic bands by cutting them and then patching it a little bit with a strip of cloth, or just sewing it back together, or maybe cut one and leave the other. I don't know, it's up to you, but this has worked absolutely fine for me. I know some people have had problems with that, but none here, which I'm very happy about. It looks cool while it's in the case. A lot of my friends, as I said, they're like, whoa, it's a cool case, I'm gonna have to get one of those. A bunch of them actually have gotten it now because they saw it. So it adheres to the form of the Mac very well. It complements its look. It's like this Thule case is a very sort of rugged, very, I don't know, it's sort of a commercial, I don't know how to describe it. It's very business-like. It looks like it means business, It's a very good-looking case, and it does its job very well. I've never had any problems with the case scratching the computer, which I like a lot. I like the way it looks. I like the functionality of the open computer inside the case. I'll go ahead and shut that and zip it back up. It looks great when it's closed. It looks great when it's open. And everything works the way it's supposed to. I'm very impressed, as well as the price point is very nice. It's priced at about $50 bucks, which is phenomenal for a case like this, because you get these, in-case neoprene sleeves or whatever for 40 bucks or the same. And all those are little floppy sleeves that you put your Mac down into. And I don't think they provide nearly as much protection as this thing, especially since this is water resistant. So, just more reasons and more reasons to buy this case. And, so yeah, that's basically it for my review on this case. I suggest going out and buying it if you've got a MacBook Pro. They also sell this in a 13-inch version, by the way. So if you have a 13-inch or a 15-inch MacBook that you would like to protect, go out and buy yourself one of these cases. It's a Thule 15-inch hardshell MacBook case. So yeah, I cannot say enough good things about this case. I highly recommend it to all you viewers, and that is basically it for this review of the Thule 15-inch MacBook Pro case. So thank you guys for watching, and by the way, if you haven't already, please click on the links to my other videos. Every view really helps, and I really appreciate your guys' support. You guys are awesome. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.